This is the T3 automatic tire inflation system troubleshooting video. We're going to show you how to quickly and easily troubleshoot a leak in the system. Now, this process will save you time and money by eliminating unnecessary removal of non-leaking parts. The tools you're going to need are really just a bottle of soapy water. Now, this is just a bottle of water with some dishwashing soap in it, or any type of sudsing material, and a spray bottle. What we're going to do with our system pressured up on the trailer is we're going to spray our components and look for bubbles or a leak. As you can see here, we have a leak, and the bubbles, these bubbles are actually coming through a series of poppets that are mounted onto the T3 hub. Now, these poppets are spring-loaded valves with an O-ring seat that allows any type of pressurized air inside of the hub area to vent into atmosphere. So what we know with this hub is that we have a leak in the hub, but we haven't determined which of the components is leaking. There's three components. There could be the rotary union itself, could be the internal axle plug, or the internal stator that the rotary union hooks into. So what we're going to do to determine which one of these parts is leaking is we're going to spray all of the hubs on the trailer. And let's say, for an example, we don't have any extra parts, but this hub has shown a leak by the air bubbles, but let's say the hub next to it hasn't. So we know that the hub next to it is not leaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer my parts from this hub, my rotary union from this hub, to the other hub, and from the other hub over to here. If the leak follows me to the other hub, then I know that my rotary union is leaking. If the leak stays here after I've replaced the rotary union with a non-leaking rotary union, then I know it's one of the other two components. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pressure the system down, and I'm going to switch my rotary unions. I turn the system off at the on-off ball valve on the control unit, and then I'll just remove my hose fittings and pressure the system down. Then I will unscrew the rotary union. And remove it from the hub. Now I'm going to replace that rotary union with the rotary union from the other hub, the one that I know was not leaking because there was no air bubbles. So I replace it, I put the other rotary union in, and then I take the rotary union from the hub that was leaking and I put it on the other hub. I turn the system back on and pressure it back up. Now I take my soapy water and I spray it once again. As you can see, the poppets are leaking. I still have a leak in this hub, and I also know that this rotary union was not leaking on the other hub. So therefore, it's one of the two components inside and not the rotary union. So my next step is to remove the hubcap, pressure the system down, remove the hubcap and rotary union, and inspect the two components inside the hub. Okay, so I'm removing my hubcap. I'm going to leave my rotary union attached to the hubcap. I'll take my rotary union out by pulling it out. Then I'm going to inspect my two internal components. This is the axle plug that has been driven into the spindle. And this is a big O-ring that makes a seal inside of that spindle. And if this is a brand new install, this might have been a leak point. But if it has not, if this is an old install and you just developed a leak, I would suspect that it is not this axle plug or the O-ring around it, because This is once it's in there, it's stationary, it's already made a seal, and it shouldn't begin to leak. So my next thing is I will inspect my stator. Now my stator threads into the axle plug, like so. There's two things on the stator, two places it can leak. One at the thread, where it gets threaded into the axle plug, and the second is at the seal. So what I'm going to do is inspect my seal, and I'm going to remove my stator and replace it with another stator. It's just a 5/8 inch socket. Loosen it up. Remove it from its axle plug and inspect it. I see with this stator there isn't any thread sealant on it, so that could be where my possible leak is. The other place could be at this seal. The seal could be worn, but you want to look at both of those areas. So then you get a new stator with a thread sealant on it, and you put the new stator in and tighten it down. And remember to torque the stator to 25 foot-pounds. Once it's tightened down, we'll take our hubcap with our rotary union and we'll put them back together. I'll put several hubcap bolts in to just keep the hubcap secured to the hub. Snug them down, and now my rotary union is tight. I'm going to pressure the system back up, and I'm going to retest it for leaks. Okay, so the system is pressured back up. I get my soapy water, and I spray the rotary union. As you can see, there's no leaks, there's no air bubbles coming out of the poppets. And so what's happened is I've solved my problem by replacing the stator. So it was leaking at the stator, either at the seal or at the thread. So now my system is secure and sealed up and no longer has a leak. And that's the fastest and easiest way to troubleshoot your T3 automatic tire inflation system.